Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today, it's pretty straightforward. We're taking a simple everyday chat, just two colleagues grabbing coffee, talking work, Jake and Emma. But we're going to mine it, really dig deep for the insights. We want those key nuggets about like workplace stress, boundaries, those daily rituals we all have, basically a shortcut for you to understand what's really going on in the modern professional world.
Right. And this conversation, it seems casual, but it's incredibly rich. It's condensed. Just a few lines and bang, you get this full picture. You see how people are actually managing pressure, how they communicate what they need. It's perfect if you're looking to quickly grasp, the reality of work today.
Okay, so let's jump in where lots of tough work days start. Fatigue, Jake kicks it off, right? He admits, yeah, not really. I stayed up late finishing a report.
Nice.
And that's not just small talk, is it? It's basically a confession. Work bled into personal time. He pushed past his limits.
Yeah.
Exactly. Boundary failure right there. And now he's paying for it physically. That single line immediately sets up the next bit, the search for a quick fix. And, predictably, it's coffee.
Ah, coffee, the fuel. But what's fascinating is how different their choices are. It says so much.
It really does. It reveals their whole approach to managing themselves, basically.
I thought this was super telling, Jake.
Mm.
His brain is still half asleep, he says. So what does he do? Defaults. Go straight for my usual, a caramel latte.
Mm.
That's not just caffeine. It's caffeine plus a massive sugar hit. Comfort food in a cup.
Mm-hmm. He needs that spike, that dopamine, that energy rush. Like now, he's trying to paper over the cracks from the lack of sleep.
He's definitely prioritizing the immediate fix. Get me through the next hour.
While Emma, she's doing something different. She's actively choosing discipline, right? Just a black coffee, she says, and she tells us why. I'm trying to cut down on sugar. She's actually attempting a healthier strategy. She knows those sugar spikes aren't sustainable.
And Jake's reaction? It's gold. He laughs it off, kinda. Says his own attempt lasted 3 days. Yeah. And that's not just a joke. That's data, like you said. It tells you he struggles with sticking to things. Delayed gratification. Consistency. Probably not his strong suit.
Which connects directly to the work stuff, as we'll see. I mean, if you can't say no to a sugary latte when you're trying to be healthy, how easy is it going to be to push back against unreasonable work demands?
It sets as a pattern, doesn't it? This small morning choice, the high sugar comfort thing. It's like a tiny window into a bigger struggle. Maybe a general difficulty with accepting short-term discomfort for a longer-term benefit.
Okay, so we've got the internal state. Tired, maybe a bit undisciplined, needing a boost. And this leads right into what they're actually facing at work, the core topic. Jake gives us the broad strokes. It's hectic. Meetings, emails, and deadlines, the usual background noise of office life.
Yeah, the constant low-level hum of pressure. That's Jake's input. But then Emma comes in with the flashpoint, the really high-stress moment. Her story is where it gets specific and, frankly, a bit scary. Yesterday, my boss asked me to prepare a presentation with only 2 hours' notice.
Wow, 2 hours? I mean, who hasn't felt that panic, that sudden demand? It's designed to just, overwhelm you.
Absolutely, peer pressure cooker.
But the key thing here is the outcome. What happened next? Emma says she was completely overwhelmed. Totally understandable. But then she adds, I made it on time. She delivered.
Okay, but let's pause on that. Made it on time.
Yeah.
Yes, great for Emma. She pulled it off. But what does that actually signal? Forcing someone to prep a presentation in 2 hours? That sounds like a massive system failure. Poor planning, maybe. Unrealistic demands from the boss.
That's a really good point. It feels like her success, her ability to scramble, it almost rewards the bad planning from above.
It could, yeah.
Yeah.
It reinforces the idea that this is okay, that people can just absorb these impossible deadlines. She gets praised for speed, maybe, but she pays the price in stress, that internal chaos she mentioned.
So if she always manages to pull through, does that just set the expectation higher for next time? Does the boss just think, oh, Emma can handle it?
It's a risk. It absolutely is. It feeds into that whole urgency culture, this idea that you need to be constantly switched on, adaptable, assertive, which actually brings us perfectly to how they see each other, their coping styles. They kind of mirror each other.
Right. Let's look at Jake's view of Emma first. He really admires her, says she always pulls through, and he nails her key strength. She's assertive when things get stressful. He sees her ability to, handle the crisis, maybe push back a little, or just organize herself super fast.
She can set boundaries, even if they're just cognitive ones managing the task under fire.
Right.
And then Emma looks at Jake, and she spots his main professional hurdle. She says he's reluctant sometimes. And then, pretty directly for a colleague, suggests he should speak up more in meetings.
That's the crucial link for you, the listener. Think about it. We see this pattern in Jake. Reluctance. He was reluctant maybe to manage his time, leading to the late night. He seems reluctant to skip the sugar hit. And now Emma says he's reluctant to voice his opinions in meetings.
It's all connected. It suggests a kind of generalized boundary issue. People who find it hard to speak up, to challenge things, to put their view across in a meeting. They often find it hard to say no to extra work or unreasonable deadlines, or even, as we saw, hard to say no to that internal impulse for immediate comfort.
It stems from the same place, maybe? A lack of assertiveness, both externally and internally.
Could be. It seems rooted in that reluctance she mentioned.
And Jake, he doesn't push back on her feedback. He sort of owns it. He says, yeah, basically that's true. I'm trying to be more confident. He calls it a work in progress. So we're literally seeing his internal struggle with confidence affect how he shows up, how he sets boundaries or doesn't set them at work.
And think about the career impact there, just for a second. Emma's assertiveness, even when she's stressed, builds a reputation. She's reliable, she can handle crises. Jake's reluctance, it probably means good ideas go unheard. He might end up being the guy who just quietly does the late nights, gets tired, maybe gets overlooked. That confidence struggle isn't just internal, it costs him energy and visibility.
Yeah, it's the difference between managing expectations and letting expectations manage you. But, the conversation isn't all work, stress, and pressure. They shift gears pretty smoothly. They talk about their friend, Sarah.
Right, and that shift is important. It's not just random chatter. It shows the conversation serves two functions. Venting about work stress, yes, but also maintaining those crucial social connections. They're decompressing together, building that shared humanity before they dive back into the grind. It's like a mental buffer.
And the news about Sarah is good news, specific and positive. She finally found a new apartment near the park, something nice and concrete to focus on.
Yeah, it lifts the mood. And Emma's reply, what a coincidence, I was just thinking about her this morning. I
Oh.
cannot just fill her. It underlines their connection, their shared world outside of work tasks. They're building rapport through personal stuff, which is so important for a resilient working relationship.
Then comes the wrap-up. Back to reality. They acknowledge the time. We better head to work before we're late again. That signals, okay, back to business. Shared responsibility. Keeping the professional rhythm.
And they immediately set up the next time, locking in that daily ritual. Same time tomorrow.
Yeah.
Deal. They're building predictability into what sounds like a pretty unpredictable work environment. These small routines, they can be anchors, anchors against the chaos.
And Jake ends with a promise, but this time I'm buying. That's reciprocity. He came in tired, vented, got maybe a little nudge about confidence. So the next day, he offers to pay. It's a small gesture, but it balances things. It reinforces their professional friendship, that support system.
Exactly. It closes the loop. It shows it's not just two people complaining near each other. It's a relationship where they trade support, advice, venting space, even coffee, all to help each other face down another hectic day.
So let's pull this together for you, our listener. What have we learned from this quick coffee chat? We saw that stark contrast in coping styles, right? Assertive Emma versus the more reluctant, boundary-struggling Jake. We got a very concrete example of that intense pressure, the urgency culture, that 2-hour presentation deadline. Ugh. And we saw how small personal habits, like the coffee choice, the sugar thing, can reflect bigger issues around assertiveness and setting boundaries at work.
Yeah, and it leaves us with a really important question to chew on, thinking about them planning to meet again tomorrow. Given how stressed and tired they sound, Jake staying up late, Emma admitting she was completely overwhelmed, what's the long-term cost here? Constantly relying on just being assertive or using sugar and caffeine to just pull through. How sustainable is that really? What kind of shift would someone like Jake need beyond just trying to be more confident to actually sustain his energy, to not burn out? Maybe think about your own day. How often do your little rituals, your coffee choices, maybe reflect how you're drawing your lines at work or not drawing them?
Definitely some food for thought there. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.